implement gradual electricity and oil price increases, as well as policies on capital gains tax. Grassroots members of the KMT are reportedly calling for Ma to step down as the party chairman so that he can focus solely on state affairs. However, Vice President-elect Wu Dun-yi is allegedly in the midst of revising the KMT party's charter so that an elected president from the party automatically becomes the chairman of the party. This measure is supposedly aimed at solidifying the government and the party, which would in turn aid policymaking. If Wu's revision is not passed, Ma will need to win the party chairman election next year to remain in the chairmanship.
According to reports, some members of the KMT are calling on President Ma Ying-jeou to step down as party chairman so that he can focus his full attention on state affairs. However, Vice President-elect Wu Dun-yi reportedly wants to revise the KMT's party charter so that a president from the party automatically becomes the party's chairman as well. In Wu's view, the change would consolidate government and party policies and strengthen the president's position of power. Opinion is allegedly split within the KMT's Central Standing Committee. Despite the difference of opinion, it cannot be denied that a president concurrently serving as party chairman would be in an advantageous position to implement policies. If Wu's revision is not passed, Ma will need to win the KMT's chairman election next year to continue serving as chairman.
President Ma Ying-jeou took questions from students at National Pingtung University of Science and Technology on Friday after giving a lecture. The most urgent issue among the students seems to be the rising commodity prices. As one student said, he may not be able to graduate if the miscellaneous fee that the university charges continues to rise. Another student further pointed out that many students are going hungry because the size of their box meals are getting smaller and smaller.
During his visit to the campus of National Pingtung University of Science and Technology on the 4th, President Ma Ying-jeou took a test ride in an electric car developed by the school and delivered a lecture on emerging trends in the green energy industry. Afterwards, he took questions from students. In response to one student who expressed concerns that he may not be able to graduate if university miscellaneous fees continue rising, Ma said the Ministry of Education has already announced a freeze on miscellaneous fees this semester. Most student questions centered on economic issues, with one saying that national technology universities enjoy fewer resources than general national universities, which is unfair to technical and vocational students. In response, Ma said that the government's allocation of educational resources would be reassessed to protect the rights of all students. At the same time, the government is working to turn Taiwan into an East Asian higher education center to raise the ratio of foreign students at universities from the current 4% to 10% by 2020.
In an effort to continue cultivating young talents in Taiwan, colleges nationwide are collaborating with local industries due to a lack of educational funds. Dingxing International Group, famous in China for its Master Kong instant noodle products, granted National Zhengzhi University, NCCU, $30 million to establish an elite business class. The program will allow students to participate in cross-strait business internships and seminars in Europe, America, and Asia. CEO Wei Ying-chong says that the company is working with the NCCU in preparation for business developments in Southeast Asia, as it is set to become the next business hotspot.
The Dingxing International Group, which built its business enterprise in China with Master Kong instant noodle products, is funding an elite business class at the National Zhengzhi University with 30 million NT dollars. With additional 10 million NT dollars from the NCCU for a total of 40 million, the elite class will provide scholarships for 13 MBA students. Students will be able to participate in cross-strait internships and travel to Europe, the United States, and Asia for additional learning opportunities. NCCU says that university cooperation with enterprises will become more common due to higher education funding shortages. Dingxing CEO Wei Ying-chong, who recently returned from an investigative business trip to Malaysia and Thailand, says that markets in China and the Southeast Asia still have growth potentials. The company is working with NCCU to nurture student talents in preparation for market development in China and Southeast Asia. After graduating from the class, students are not required but are welcome to work for his company. Wei also notes that businesses should be prepared for China slowing down its growth rate in order to regulate the economy.
Medical worker groups have been protesting recently against the deteriorating work environment in hospitals, dubbing certain healthcare institutes employ far too few nurses who are expected to endure long working hours. In view of the nurse shortage in Taiwan, Taichung Health Bureau recently held a recruitment test at local health centers. The job requirements are relatively simple, and each nursing staff also qualifies for the same rights and privileges as a civil servant. Nearly 1,500 people applied for 15 vacancies, which is equivalent to a 1% hiring rate.
After the bell rang, the candidates moved their pens furiously to fill the answers on the exams. The 1,500 testers with nursing background and over 4 years of hospital experience come from all over Taiwan, hoping to be selected by the Taichung Health Bureau to fill one of the 15 vacancies. The competitive 1% hiring rate is due to the relatively easy job requirement, which is a big difference compared to regular hospital positions. While working in the Taichung Health Centers, each nursing staff has the same rights and job guarantee as a civil servant, and their 40,000 NT dollar monthly income is also relatively higher than many hospital wages. Compared to last year's 528 candidates, the number of candidates this year has tripled as nurses who do not want to give up on their profession hope to find a more tolerable working environment. On the other hand, if nurses' overall job conditions do not improve, the national nursing shortage is likely to continue.
The government is currently drafting legislation for national long-term care insurance coverage for senior citizens. Officials hope that the policy can be legislated by the end of 2014 and promulgated in 2016. Civic groups opposed to such a monthly cash distribution held a press conference on May 4th to say that the measure would place the elderly care responsibilities on the female members in the family.
In light of Taiwan's aging society and growing demand for long-term care, the government is currently drafting a new national long-term care insurance system that officials hope can be legislated by 2014 and promulgated by 2016. However, civic groups are greatly opposed to a cash distribution measure under consideration. In Germany, where cash distributions are an option under the national long-term care insurance system, 72% of families opt for cash, while only 13% choose to hire caretakers. In Japan, where there are no cash subsidies, 1.2 million people have live-in caretakers, while 1.6 million have daytime caretakers. An additional 300,000 have short-term residential help. Experts say that South Korea studied both systems when it launched its long-term care insurance system in 2008 and opted to follow Japan's model. Both civic groups and experts are calling on the government to revise its policy direction before it's too late.
Several civic organizations, including the Taiwan Association for Human Rights and the National Health Insurance Civic Surveillance Alliance, recently organized a press conference to criticize the Bureau of National Health Insurance for their invasion of the public's privacy. They claim that starting in 1998, the Bureau made health insurance records available to academic organizations, which infringes on the privacy rights of the public.
The organizations represented at the press conference included the National Health Insurance Civil Surveillance Alliance, Taiwan Women's Link, and the Persons with HIV/AIDS Rights Advocacy Association of Taiwan. These groups pointed out that since 1998, the Bureau of National Health Insurance has released health insurance records, which should be private, to the National Health Research Institute's National Health Insurance Research Database. The NHRI has in turn released these records to academia and non-academic entities. Over the years, more than 1,000 papers have been published, which infringe on the privacy rights of the public. The NHI-CSA said it has raised this issue with the BNHI many times throughout the years, but nothing has changed. changed. Thus, it will send a formal letter via registered mail to the Bureau demanding that it stop releasing health insurance records. In response, the BNHI said the Personal Information Protection Act allows for it to release data to the NHRI, and it is not selling any information. In addition, the data is first stripped of any identifying information to ensure privacy.
In this modern day and age where the television and internet have become a significant part of children's lives, experts caution that such technology could be harmful to their physical and mental development. To address this issue, NCC will promote media regulation to protect children's interests, in addition to a TV program rating system based on age appropriateness.
Turn on the TV or slide across smartphones, young children have easy access to multi-channel programs. Television and the internet have become the biggest influence for young children, yet most media care more about revenue than program quality. Very few children's programs are produced locally, and most of them are designed with ad placements in mind. According to survey, 70% of children begin using electronic gadgets before 6 years old because parents have been using videos and the internet as robot nannies. However, only 2% of all TV programs are locally produced children's programs. In order to ensure program quality, NCC will call for the establishment of a children's channel to strengthen program production and broadcast standards, in addition to setting up an age-based program rating system. The NCC feels that its current level of administrative resources cannot effectively stand guard for children's viewing rights, so it plans to promote legislations and request the Executive Yuan to establish an agency dedicated to the protection of children's media rights.
The 4 terrestrial networks in Taiwan will start converting to digital signals on May 7th. During a press conference jointly held by National Communications Commission, NCC, and Government Information Office, GIO, officials reminded households to install digital antennas. Meanwhile, televisions without internal digital functions will also require digital boxes to view television programs in the future.
Taiwan's 4 terrestrial networks are currently analog channels, but will soon start converting to digital signals. Conversions will start at noon on May 7th in 11 central Taiwan areas, including Hsinchu City's Xiangshan, Hsinchu County's Emei, Miaoli County, Taichung City, Changhua County, Nantou County, Yunlin County, Jiayi City, and northern Jiayi County. Eastern Taiwan and Taiwan's offshore islands will go digital on May 28th, followed by southern Taiwan on June 11th and northern Taiwan on June 30th. According to the National Communications Commission, Taiwan will have 16 digital terrestrial networks after the transition, including PTS HIHD channels. Households that installed their own antennas will need to install digital antennas, while televisions without internal digital functions will require digital set-top boxes to view digital television programs. Those with questions on the change can call the NCC's free hotline, while the Government Information Office has asked hypermarkets around the island to assist consumers through the transition.
In preparation for Mother's Day, the Kaohsiung District Prosecutor's Office has gathered probation officers, volunteers from the Association for Victim Support, and those sentenced to social services to create cakes made from felt cloth for the victims' families. Those assigned to social services say that they're not good at sewing, but hope their hard handiwork will show their good intentions towards the families who have been the victims of their crimes.
With needles and threads in their hands, this crowd gather around the table to attempt making felt cloth cakes. Usually assigned to street cleaning types of social service activities, many find this delicate artwork quite a challenge, yet they continue to push forward because the artistic creations will be given to victims' families as Mother's Day gifts. Through the personal activities, the Kaohsiung District Prosecutor's Office hopes those sentenced to social services that have difficulty expressing emotions will be able to convey their goodwill to families of victims most in need of caring. Although the final cloth cakes are not edible, the Kaohsiung officers and cake makers hope that the recipient families will be able to accept the gifts as tokens of warmth so that those under social service sentences will have a chance to provide a meaningful public service.
Qipao is a traditional Chinese dress that has made a lasting impression on both the Western and Eastern worlds. This form-fitting one-piece dress is said to be the best way to show off a lady's figure and elegance.
穿上旗袍以后，我觉得整个人的你举手投足，简直像换了一个人。然后我觉得中国女人比较那种内敛美啊，我觉得能够在旗袍这样能够很完整的表现。
Qipao was the traditional dress of the Qi tribe, and they became an important part of women's fashion after the 1940s. The wives of government officials, as well as ladies in high society, wore qipao dresses to functions and parties. Having a qipao on is not only a display of a woman's graceful posture, but also a symbol of her social status. There has been a wave of Chinese trends in recent years. Not only has learning Chinese become a fad, Chinese-style clothing has also become trendy. Qipao dresses have improved over time to reflect modern fashion styles and to help show off women's curves.
那如果我们改良式的呢？就是说，看我们的创意啊，然后去迎合现代的这个时代潮流。maybe 对年轻人来讲是一种惊艳的感觉。
那旗袍它本身是讲求线条，还有它的质感，所以呢，不管是传统跟这个改良呢，我觉得都是在我们旗袍文化里面可以发扬的。
Wearing a qipao adds traditional Chinese flair to a woman's style. It makes her quite eye-catching at formal functions and holiday parties.
Since May 2008, one of government's policy priority has been trying to integrate Taiwan's economy regionally and internationally. On the next Taiwan Outlook, we'll have Dr. Shi Zhenping, who's an associate professor at the Institute of International Human Resource Development of the National Taiwan Normal University, to share with us his views on some of the challenges and opportunities confronting Taiwan. I'll see you on Macroview Television.
Welcome back to Inside Taiwan. This month marks the beginning of the production season for bamboo shoots in the Taroko tribal area. To promote the sales, the Shouling Township Office organized a campaign to promote the crop grown in Datong and Dali villages, located at high altitudes. Featuring its non-toxic agricultural practices, 5 of the local farmers have passed the organic certification, as the bamboo growers hope to turn the practice into an intensive agricultural development.
Young tribal members perform a traditional dance holding bamboo shoots at hand to mark the beginning of the festival. Every April is the season of bamboo shoot production of Datong and Dali tribes in Shouling Township in Hualien County. The township office organized various events to promote the locally grown agricultural products and prepared many creative dishes containing bamboo shoots. The bamboo shoots in the township are grown in the tribes, which are 1,200 meters above the sea level. According to the farmers, they harvest the bamboo shoots manually, and it takes quite a bit of effort to transport them off the mountain. The farmers also pledged to move toward the organic agricultural practice to boost the revenue. It's estimated that the bamboo shoot season will last from mid-April to the end of May. The production volume last year was about 22 tons, with projected profit of $2.2 million. Thanks to the good weather this year, the production volume is expected to be 27 tons this year, bringing the profit to $2.7 million.
The music band Youth Banana, formed by 5 young Qishan natives in 2008, has made consistent efforts to promote their hometown over the past few years. On Labor Day, members of the band invited many young people to work in banana fields at Qishan for a unique farming experience. They're now planning to offer the chance to more people during the upcoming summer vacation.
Led by the 5 members of the Youth Banana Band, more than 20 young people from around Taiwan spent their Labor Day holiday planting bananas at Kaohsiung's Qishan district. While physically demanding, the task gave these young people a precious chance to experience the life of banana farmers. The banana industry of Qishan reached its heyday about 40 years ago, but it later went into decline due to diminishing export markets. Members of the Youth Banana Band, all of them natives of Qishan, said that they planned this activity in order to help revive the local banana industry and introduce Qishan's agricultural culture to younger generations. In the future, the band plans to recruit more young students to work at the banana plantations during summer vacations, and will also invite companies and individuals to adopt Qishan's banana fields.
For the first time, Taiwan was chosen as the destination for the graduation trip of Incheon's Sun Yat-sen Memorial High School last year. As the trip was well received by the students, the school has once again chosen Taiwan for their graduation trip this year. During the students' stay in Taiwan, they visited the Overseas Compatriot Affairs Commission, OCAC, where the OCAC Deputy Minister Ren Hong treated them to pearl milk tea and pastries, giving them the opportunity to sample local cuisines.
To help overseas Chinese students better understand Taiwan, Incheon Sun Yat-sen Memorial High School officials chose Taiwan as the destination for its 5-day, 4-night graduation trip. During their stay in Taiwan, the 32 students visited the Overseas Compatriot Affairs Commission, where they were treated to pearl milk tea and pastries. Apart from introducing the students to a number of global Chinese language websites, the OCAC also arranged for the students to visit the campuses of National Taiwan University and National Taiwan Normal University. On their first night in Taiwan, the group visited Shiling Night Market and sampled an array of local specialties. As Sun Yat-sen Memorial High School utilizes a traditional Chinese character and Zhuing Fuhao curriculum, the students speak Chinese fluently. OCAC Deputy Minister Ren Hong also presented the students with View Taiwan from OCAC DVDs to help them become better acquainted with the island's beautiful scenic spots.
Commonly known by his nickname Third Uncle, Lin Binghuan is a national artist of Hakka theater and has been appearing on stage over the past 60 years since he was 20 years old. To celebrate the Hakka Week, organized by the recently established College of Hakka Studies of National Central University, the veteran artist was invited to perform his signature number of 搓把戏, or literally translated as group performance of tricks, where he entertained the audience with his amusing takes on current affairs.
The veteran artist incorporates current affairs and hot topics into his act, and won applause from audience members of all age groups for his excellent performing skills and amusing dialogues. The national performer, Lin Binghuan, was invited to perform at the Hakka Week at the newly established College of Hakka Studies of National Central University. President of the college hoped the students and the school's neighbors could seize the opportunity to personally experience the energy and vitality of traditional Hakka theater. The type of act is known as 搓把戏, or literally translated as group performance of trick, which covers contents of mountain songs and comic talks that mix with the performer's personal experiences and Hakka sayings and idioms. The impromptu show gives audience a fresh perspective on traditional Hakka performing arts.
Several young entrepreneurs from Kaohsiung's Meinong Township run a small shop in the township where they sell the creative, exquisite, and unique handicrafts that they manufacture themselves. One of the items they sell is a tool used for pounding leaves to make designs on cloth as part of their pounding, rubbing, dyeing series.
The children spread out on the grassy lawn looking for leaves. By using the distinct patterns of veins on the leaves, they can make unique designs. This is done by covering the leaves with cloth and then using a hammer to pound on them until the sap inside the leaves emerges. Left on the cloth is the pattern of the leaf's venation. As no two leaves have the same main pattern, and each leaf can only be used in this way once, each child ends up with a unique design. This technique is called pounding, rubbing, dyeing, and is a brainchild of a group of young entrepreneurs from Kaohsiung's Meinong Township. They use products found in nature as a basis for the handicrafts that they make, and also teach children how to do the same. In this way, the students were able to learn about the importance of resource conservation and environmental protection.
还记得小时候，我们总是绘制着想象，让梦想在心中萌芽。长大以后，我们学会踮起脚步，在世界的各个角落，尽情地舞动梦想。慢慢的，我们也学会了重新定义幸福，让童言童语堆砌出成家的喜悦。这才明白，原来梦想的美是用城市里的完美效益来点缀。梦想真的离我们好近，因为找对了方向，就能持续前进。我们相信，未来在这座城市，圆梦的故事将持续上演。美丽台北，让梦想更美。
贴纸为什么这样设计？为什么会这样的涂痕？东西一直在使用，但是有没有人了解到底用这些东西是为什么？一段文化如果它没有传承下来，它就永远会停留在那边。这样子好几个故事。
Welcome back to Inside Taiwan. Here are the art exhibitions around the island. Thanks for joining us at Inside Taiwan. I'm Yvonne Meadow. We'll see you same time tomorrow.